Hello, and welcome to my presentation on my reasons why Fuuta Kajiyama is trans-mask. To start, it has been implied that Fuuta has a low self-esteem, which is part of what led to his crime. He wanted to be in the right and have people look up to him, as we could see in the Bring It On music video, how he wanted to have all the people cheering for him after he killed the monster, or his victims. He also comes off as very arrogant to counteract this. For example, he said, admiring is losing, and that he's not scared. These are some lyrics from Bring It On. However, I believe that this extends to his physical appearance as well. He is always seen wearing multiple layers of often baggy clothing, something that many people with dysphoria do. As we can see, he has a hoodie under his jacket, shorts on top of his pants, and clothes that are way too big. Here are some more examples. This is from the Milgram Village Vanguard collab, and I know that everybody has baggy clothing in that collab, but he's wearing flannel, and that's a really trans thing to do. Now this is getting into speculation territory, but maybe he wears the mask not just to hide his crooked teeth, but his lack of a strong jawline as well. Now reason 2. It has been established that Fuuta's father is old-fashioned, conservative, and most likely a bigot. As in one of the interrogation questions, he said his father is a weak, pathetic fogey. And even though Fuuta has expressed distaste towards his father, he still has moments where he acts strangely misogynistic. This leads one to believe that this misogyny is internalized, meaning that Fuuta is assigned female at birth and was treated with misogyny growing up. So even though he doesn't agree with his father, that way of thinking is still, ingrained in his system. This is from one of the timeline conversations where he was telling Kotoko that there's no way a girl could win in a fight against a man, even though she beat him up pretty bad after that. And in one of the interrogation questions, he says that girl talk is mostly boring, and he wants somebody who can keep up with his talk level, meaning that he doesn't think that girls are very bright. Similarly, Fuuta stated that if you're a man, you have to work, in response to being asked about his gender. This belief most likely comes from his father as well. And I interpret the way he says it is what it is to be Fuuta trying to sound cis. It's not working. So, what does this all mean? If Fuuta's only example of a man growing up was an asshole such as his father, he's bound to think that the only way to be a man is to be tough, arrogant, and misogynistic. These are all things that Fuuta has seen trying to be. This is made worse by the fact that his mother was not present, so his only parental figure was somebody like that, and he had nobody else giving him any ways to think about things. Now, pair that with being trans. He wants to be seen as the man that he is on the inside, but the only way Fuuta thinks that will happen is if he acts like his father. Because of this toxic masculinity, he doesn't end up truly being himself. On the Milgram official website, it states that Fuuta is a timid and good person on the inside, but it doesn't often show due to the way he acts. This lines up perfectly with our reasoning from earlier. And I could start talking about his interactions with Amane, but I won't really be getting into that. Just know that I think that Amane would be an ally and say stuff like, God intended for you to be this way. And that's part of why Fuuta started acting nicer, aside from the whole salvation thing. It's because Amane is teaching him that, he could still be him. He's still himself. He doesn't have to act like a horrible person. So, we're finally done with reason 2. So it's time for reason 3. Drum roll, please. Because I say so. So I really love Fuuta. He's such an interesting character with so much to think about. So of course I had to hit him with the transmutation beam. This headcanon is probably my favorite headcanon ever. It just makes sense with Fuuta's character, and drawing him in a binder makes me really happy. So take my headcanons and cry about it. Or you don't have to cry, because it can fill you with joy. So, thank you for your time. That'll be the end of this presentation. All the translations are from the Milgram wiki. All the art used is official except for the one at the end, because this was drawn by me. And I'm trans-mask, so my opinions are valid. Live, laugh, love.